Good afternoon. Well, obviously, today we're disappointed with the jury's verdict.
Am I clear?
I can't even imagine what this must feel like for the family of Philando Castile, his friends, and all those that loved him, and also for Diamond Reynolds. I'm just really sad for them. And I really believe that as a community, we should pray for them because, you know, they have suffered so much as a part of all of this. And I really ask that our community has all the empathy and the sympathy for them. You know, our position throughout this case was that Philando Castile did nothing that justified the taking of his life. You know, from our perspective, and what we were trying to prove was that Philando Castile was simply following Officer Yanez's commands and orders to retrieve his license. And just as he said the moments before being shot, and as he was lay dying in his car, he said he wasn't reaching for it. And we gave it our best shot. We really did. And I'm just so proud of the team that we assembled as a part of this. But we really did, and we put our heart and soul into it. And I'm not the only one disappointed. I'm speaking for this entire group because we really put our heart and soul into that. You know, when Officer Yanez chose to use lethal force, you know, as we said, there was no imminent threat. And we tried our best to prove that he didn't see a gun and that Castile wasn't pulling it out. And the toughest part for me, with respect to those facts, is that he was so respectful in how he disclosed that he had that firearm. He said, "Sir, I have to tell you that I do have a firearm on me." And he went beyond what the law requires. He was compliant, he wasn't resisting, and at the end of the day, this was a traffic stop. Unfortunately, the jury didn't see it that way. And another thing that we were fighting for as a part of this particular case was we were fighting for the integrity of this process. I know that this case went worldwide, nationwide. And because of that, and because of the Facebook Live video, and just the sadness of seeing somebody die on video, that got people upset and sad and angry, and they were demanding that criminal charges be filed immediately. And one of the things that's so important in the role of a prosecutor is for us to be ministers of justice. We don't prosecute people just because we want to.
That, of course, is Ramsey County Attorney John Choi talking about the whole process, saying that he was obviously disappointed with the jury's verdict. He is still speaking right now. We're going to go back to him and listen to a little bit more of what he has to say. BCA
for their efforts and their fact gathering to submit to us, the prosecutors, who ultimately had to make the decision about whether or not criminal charges were warranted. And we took our time, and we consulted a national use of force expert. And we were thoughtful, and we were thorough. And we had great conversations, important conversations within our team about probable cause and whether or not we could prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt. And we thought that we could. And throughout that whole process, there was political pressure by the community, the public, that was coming down to us saying, release that video because we need to see it now. And we resisted because the process is important. And at the end of the day, that video is evidence. And so I'm really proud of the way that we handled the charging decision, the investigation, because I think that is critical. And we tried to be transparent as much as we could. But in the context of the investigation, we did what we needed to do. And then after criminal charges were filed, we had a robust adversarial process, and that's what the criminal justice system is. It's an adversarial process where the prosecution seeks to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt, and defense counsel, to the best of their ability, ensures that they hold our feet to the fire to make sure that we uphold the rights of the accused. And I believe that process came to a completion today. I can't say enough about the trial team that was involved. I have just been very impressed with their effort and their diligence and all of their great work on this particular case. Rick Dusterhoff, Clayton Robinson, Jeff Paulson, and Raul Shah. They did remarkable work. I also want to thank the United States Department of Justice, because we had asked for their assistance very, very early on. And they were involved with monitoring this investigation, but also offering Jeff Paulson. And I want to thank former United States Attorney Andy Lugar and our current acting United States Attorney Greg Brooker. I also want to thank our Special Prosecutor Don Lewis and his associate Jen Cornell, who helped us with the charging decision. And I also want to thank defense counsel as well, because they aggressively represented their interests of their client, and that's an important part of this adversarial process. This case, and this is an important point that I really want to make. You know, this case has always been about the actions and the inactions of Officer Yanez. This has never been an indictment of law enforcement as a whole. Just like in any other profession, one person's mistakes does not mean that the profession is bad. And I am very saddened by this divide that I see that's happening with our community trust and law enforcement, and those are things that we really, really need to work on, because I, as somebody who has always been supportive of law enforcement, and I still am today, the work that they do is so critical to our public safety. They do things that none of us, many of us in this room, would never even imagine doing. And so we should always be thankful and grateful for the work that they do. You know, I also don't doubt that Officer Yanez is a decent person, as people testified in court. But he made a horrible mistake from our perspective. And that's what this case was about, that, you know, good people can also make mistakes. And I know that if he could, he would take back what he did, and we all wish, and he would too, that this never happened. But unfortunately, we can't. You know, American society has traditionally placed a lot of deference and respect to law enforcement, and rightly so. It's articulated in the Supreme Court case of Graham versus Connor that we take into account that the job of an officer is a dangerous one, and they have to make split-second decisions, and that there are situations that change rapidly. But when we use and we evaluate an officer's use of force, we look to that case, and we will continue to do so. But we just could not, with respect to the facts of this case. Now, the hard part and the most important part of what I have to say to the public, and this is the part that I hope that all of you will include in your reporting. As hard as this is for some members of our community, we have to accept this verdict. It was the product of a fair and impartial investigation, thorough prosecution review, and a trial by a jury of Ramsey County residents. Their decision must be respected, because that is the fundamental premise of the rule of law. I want to thank Judge Leary for ensuring a fair trial, and I know that this case generated critical conversations about police-community relations, and those conversations really must continue for the sake of our officers, for the sake of our residents, so that something like this never happens again.
You were saying so that something like this never happens again. That's, again, is Ramsey County Attorney John Choi reacting to today's verdict. He talked about how they said they gave their best shot and they put our heart and soul into this case, he said. And also a historic move on his part, because this is the first time in the history of the state that a police officer was charged in the death of a civilian.